The I-77 Express Lanes, the first of its kind in the Carolinas.
It's an innovative project.
It's tolled express lanes, running right alongside the free general purpose lanes.
We see ourselves as part of a whole transportation system.
The hope, cut down on congestion and increase speeds for everyone.
This road is always congested.
The project has come with plenty of criticism and opposition.
I was excited for lanes, I was excited for a wider highway, but then when we heard that it was going to be tollway, it was disappointing.
But ready or not, like it or not, toll lanes are here.
We want to be able to move people and product in and through this region. Tolls are a great way to help us to add new capacity to be able to meet that challenge.
After 4 years of construction, all lanes of the 26-mile I-77 project opened on November 16.
It hasn't been without its challenges, but it's been good to finally see it open.
But lots of work still needs to be done, and I-77 mobility partners could face stiff fines the longer the work takes. Sound walls, pedestrian tunnels, and bridge work still need to be completed, and in many spots there's uneven pavement, which police say is partly to blame for several recent accidents.
We can only pave overnight for less traffic impacts, and so that's only between 11 and 5. And as you get into the colder months, you can only pave if it's above 40 degrees.
So how did we get to this point, the creation of the state's first tolled express lanes?
We're one of the fastest growing states in the country. The list of priorities is a long list. The federal government is basically broke when it comes to transportation funding.
With shrinking federal grants and an underfunded state budget, the state says it would have taken years, if not decades, to get I-77 widened. So it turned the project over to the State Turnpike Authority, which got private investors to pay for construction costs up front. Total cost of the project?
Around $700 million.
Tolls collected will go to pay off the debt. It's all part of a 50-year contract with the state.
We can sit here and wait for the gas tax to pay for new capacity, and things like the I-77 project don't get built in our lifetime. When you employ user fees, and in this case a public-private partnership, you get capacity that otherwise would have taken decades from now to get, because the traditional sources of funding, the gas tax, is a declining source of revenue.
Bob Morgan spent 13 years as president of the Charlotte Chamber of Commerce. He says with the region's booming growth, the I-77 project was desperately needed.
We're a metropolitan area of 2.5 million people. We're going to add another million in the next 20 to 30 years, 100 people a day.
But of course, many of the drivers who use this stretch of highway every day say the state simply should have added more general purpose lanes for everyone to use.
Since I've been making this drive from Matthews to Mooresville, I estimate that it's going to cost me, somewhere between $7 and $10 to get to work every day. And that's just one way.
Obviously, it's going to cater to people who have the ability to pay. My wife and I are blessed. We both have jobs, so we could pay. But I know other people are not necessarily as fortunate.
During a recent afternoon rush hour, the general purpose lanes were still frequently backing up. The express lanes were humming along, but there didn't seem to be a ton of drivers using them.
Honestly, I have not seen a ton of change.
Nobody really seems to be using the express lanes right now, and I don't know if that's a reluctance to pay or if that's a bit of stubbornness with the whole way that they came to be.
I'm hoping that people are just slow in getting their passes and that more transfer over, but it hasn't resulted in a massive difference for me.
But according to state officials, travel speeds are increasing for everyone using the road, not just those in the express lanes.
You will see a benefit from the express lanes even if you decide never to use them. So if you look at October 2018 compared to October 2019, in the morning rush hour, we have seen speeds increase by 15% in the morning rush hour and by 17% in the afternoon rush hour.
State officials also remind everyone that using the express lanes is a choice. You don't have to use them if you don't want to.
That's the beauty of express lanes.
Nobody's being forced to pay these tolls. You can continue to use the free lanes. Those are not going anywhere. They continue to be free.
In addition to moving everyone around at a faster pace, the expanded highway may have an economic benefit to the region.
I have to think that the economy of Lake Norman will be well served by this, and in a couple of years we'll be able to measure the data.
What we have seen in other locations, and I'll use Texas as an example for one of the projects out there, is they have seen housing boom along the express lanes. They've also seen businesses boom.
First, it was the Monroe Bypass, which opened last year. Now, the I-77 express lanes. Love them or hate them, toll roads are now part of our reality.